so I've literally been trying to film this introduction for like 500 years. There is a fly just doing his thing really, but it's like a million degrees in this room, so I cannot be asked to chase this fly around anymore. So if you see him, his name is Jeffrey. Welcome back to his channel. So I thought I would kind of do like I promised myself I would not be doing another makeup look. Okay, I promised myself because I don't know, they get a bit boring. They get a bit boring to do as well. But you know, we're in lockdown. Furlough just isn't treating me right now. I can't afford to go out and spend like 500 quid on Pretty Little Thing, I'm gonna be honest. So I thought I'd do like a kind of like my go-to kind of summer makeup, I guess. Really like skin focused, not a lot on the eyes, kind of like your skin, but better. So I really want to start off with like a really glowy base to put my foundation onto. So I'm going to prime my skin with the Hydrate Primer from Revolution. And then I'm going to go in with the Revolution Liquid Highlighter drops as well, just where I'd normally highlight, just under the skin. If you have no idea how many screenshots I got sent of me in my last video of me looking like this. So screenshot. I don't actually have a lot left of this, but we'll make do. And then I'm just going to take a flat brush and just blend that in. So as you can see, it just gives you a little bit more of like a glowy base just to put your foundation on top of. And then I'm going to take the Hydro Matte Fixing Spray and just spray that all over my face. This is needed. So as you can see, it's just very glowy. Like I sometimes just go out without foundation on. Like I'll happily go out with just like a moisturizer on, and then sometimes I'll put on like a little bit of highlighter or a liquid highlighter, or I'll just put like a little bit of bronzer on my face just so I don't look like completely like shit. Okay, so for foundation, I'm taking my absolutely favourite foundation. This is the Too Faced Born This Way. This is my favourite foundation to wear in general, but mainly in the summer because it gives you like a really glowy kind of looking skin. So I'm just gonna pop that all around my face. So I get mine in the shade light beige. I probably could go a couple of shades darker at the minute just because I am a little bit more tanned. Just put that all over my face. And then taking a brush, I'm just gonna blend all of that in. What I found as well is like if you use a beauty blender, it does give you a little bit more of like a dewy finish as well. But because this foundation is kind of dewy anyway, it doesn't really matter. Does anyone find though like that when they put their makeup on after like a really so when you're on holiday, for instance, like when you're sat by the pool all day with no makeup on and then you put your makeup on in the evening, does anyone else find that it just sits so much better on their face? Like when it's sunny, my skin is just so much better. I'm getting this all in my hair. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bounce over the top of that with just a wet sponge just to kind of make sure everything is kind of melted into my face rather than just sitting on top. And then for concealer, I'm going to use my two favourite ones at the moment. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 10 and then the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate in the shade C3. So the Maybelline Fit Me is more because it's a darker one, it's not too highlighting, and I just really like the finish of it. And then the Revolution one is just to kind of brighten it a little bit more. So I'm just going to put that all along my head, and then I'm going to go in. This is quite like full coverage, so you only need like a tiny bit of this one. And then I'm going to blend that in. There's nothing more I love than just putting on like my summer makeup though, like glowy skin. Got an itch. And then for cream bronzer, I'm actually going to take the Makeup Academy Pro Base Full Coverage Concealer in the shade 182. And I'm just going to put that in all the places that I want to contour. Well, that's not straight, is it? And then just taking a brush, I'm going to blend that all in. This is literally like my favourite thing to cream kind of bronze with, and it's literally just £2. Like, I think I said that in like every single video now. And then I'm just going to take a smaller brush just to blend in what is on my nose and try and straighten it up a little bit, because it's a bit it's got a bit ski whiff down that way. I think I'm the only person that contours their nose like worse than what it already was. There we go, we straighten that right out. I'm just going to bounce over it with my sponge. Okay, so now that all of our liquids and creams are done, we need to set our face. It's a hot summer's day, we do not need this melting off. So I'm going to go in with 2 different powders. One is a pressed powder, one is a loose powder. So I'm going to start off with the MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade NW20, and this is the pressed powder. I dust that under my eyes. And basically anywhere I don't really want to crease. I'm just going to go in with a small brush for that. And then taking a bigger brush, I'm just going to take this all over the rest of my face. And then I'm going to carve out kind of like underneath my cream bronzer with the Vichy, is it Vichy? Vichy Derma Blend powder. And I don't think it's in a shade. Yeah, I think it's just translucent. I don't think it's in any kind of shade. I'm just going to take that on my sponge. So while I'm waiting for that just to bake a little bit, I'm going to go off camera, do my eyebrows, and we'll be back to do the rest of the skin. So our eyebrows are on. I've dusted away the bake from underneath my cream bronzer, and now it is time to bronze. So for bronzer, I'm going to take the MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade NC45, and I'm just going to bronze over everywhere that we cream bronzed. Get the temples. And then to go over the top of that, I'm going to use one of the Revolution Baked bronzers. This is more of like, I'd say like, not shimmery, but it just adds a little bit more of a glow on top, and this is in the shade Long Weekend. And then I'm going to take that same matte bronzer and go down the sides of my nose. And then for blush, I'm going to take the L'Oreal blush in the shade 120. It's just this kind of light baby pink. And then put that on the apples of my cheek and kind of work it up into that bronzer. These blushes are like a lot more subtle than like most of the other blushes that I use, and I kind of like that. And take a little bit on my nose. And then for highlighter, I'm going to take my MAC Whisper of Guilt. This is like the perfect kind of goldy shade, and it just looks perfect in the sun. So I'm going to take that on just a small brush and put that on my nose, the high points of my cheeks, and a little bit on the forehead. So that is the finished skin, just very glowy. And then for eyes, I'm not really going to do a lot because I want the main focus to kind of be the skin. So I'm just going to take the same bronzer that we used earlier, run that through my crease, and then apply some lashes. So just very blown out, kind of like not even really there, just to kind of add a little bit more definition to your eyes. So I'm gonna go off camera, apply mascara and lashes, and then we'll be back to finish the makeup. Okay, so my lashes just literally just didn't want to stick. So if they're a little bit wonky, then that's why. So I've just applied my lashes. These are just the Kiss lashes in the style Gala. Obviously you don't have to apply lashes if you don't want to. So lastly for the eyes, what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to take that same bronzer, I'm going to run it under my lower lash line. And then taking just a small brush and a dark brown eyeshadow, I'm going to put that in my waterline and then smoke it out. And then I'm just going to smoke that out. I do normally apply black into my waterline, but I feel like this looks a little bit too like light for a black. Like I feel like black would be way too harsh. So that is the eyes finished. There's not really much to them, to be honest. They're a little bit messy. This is kind of like the throw on your eyes and leave kind of look. Okay, so lastly we are on to lips. So I'm gonna take my normal lip liner from NYX in the shade London. So I'm gonna take my lip liner in the shade London and I'm just gonna line my lips. Look how smiley I am while I'm doing my lip liner. And then I'm going to take my Kylie liquid lipstick in Hazel. And then over the top of that, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this, but this kind of came in like a tanning set that I got for Christmas. Really random, I know. But this is the Sun Moritz, you know, the tan brand. This is a lip gloss that came in the tan, and it's just a really lovely kind of like nude colour. So I'm going to put that over the top. I'm going to be honest, as far as lip glosses go, it is a little bit sticky, but it looks cute. And then the last thing that we have left to do is to set our face. So I'm going to use the same setting spray that we used earlier. I think I put way too much on my face. So while that setting spray is just a little bit, like still a little bit wet, I'm going to take a Kiko eyeshadow in the shade 208. Now this is literally the most gorgeous highlighter. So I'm going to take that just on my inner corners and my brow bone. And then just the last little step that you can do, you don't have to, but I'm extra as fuck, so I'm going to do it anyway, is take your highlighter and just, oh, missed my shoulders completely, and just highlight your collarbones, just so that the sun will bounce right off of those bad boys. I feel like a statue. Okay, so that is the finished look, and not to shag my own ass or anything, but my skin looks pretty good. Like, I don't feel like the camera's really doing it justice. I feel like I look like an old lady on camera. Okay, so I hope that you like this video. Be sure to give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.